Do you want to know why you're unhappy? Do you want to know why even though you're living the most comfortable life, you still feel like you're a failure? This is because humans are programmed to have goals. But in today's age, there's no need for goals. I mean, why would I go out and hunt for food where I can just get it online? Why would I need a partner where I can just look at people online? Don't fall into this trap. Society has placed us in this pattern of overstimulating our minds with unproductive and toxic things. But how do we know what these things are? How do we know what keeps us lazy? Well, the answer to that question is actually pretty easy. Social media is one of the biggest distractions that keeps us lazy. Because think about it, we have information about the situations of the world and people's lives all through the matter of pushing a couple of buttons. Humans have always been curious and noisy creatures. So naturally, curiosity is one of the main factors why we are glued to social media. But curiosity is not a bad thing. Just like everything in life, too much of a good thing will turn into a bad thing. And especially if this good thing is easy to obtain. It is so fascinating how companies have studied the human brain in order to keep you weak. Let's take TikTok for example. The goal of TikTok is to watch a short minute video, then with just a swipe of your finger, you set another goal to finish another video. And so this repeats in a constant loop until you become self-aware and realize how much time you've wasted. Out of everything, I feel like TikTok has to be one of the worst forms of social media because it's so easy to use and there's a lot of stupid people in it. Now, some of the same concepts apply to other platforms like Instagram and YouTube. And I'm not saying that social media is not a bad thing. There are plenty of positive aspects of social media that have helped people. What I'm trying to say is don't let social media control your life. It's nice to watch a video that inspires you or entertains you, but you need to set limits. And I don't mean physical limits, I mean mental limits. If you, per se, delete TikTok, there's going to be thousands of platforms out there that deliver short content. A lot of people try to get website blockers and it plainly just doesn't work because there are thousands of websites out there that provide the same content. So if you're mentally focused and you limit yourself on your social media usage and you only use social media when it's absolutely needed, then you'll be successful. Well, how do you become mentally focused? Well, there are lots of ways to get mentally stronger. One of the things that will make you get started is making a list of your goals. This is really helpful because not only will it help you plan for your future, but it will also help you find your purpose. Because if you reflect and write down the things that you want, you'll start to think of ways to achieve that goal and why you want to achieve that goal. Now, something else that is keeping you lazy is substances. What I mean by this is drugs and junk food. If you do these things, you're purposely making your life shorter. Do you want to die early? Well, stop consuming these things. I would say this is worse than social media because it's easy dopamine that is also killing you. Why would you spend money that you work so hard to get in something that decreases your lifespan? I'll tell you why. It's because you want to feel good and you want the attention of people around you. That reminds me of this one time in my gym class in high school when some of the students were hanging out by the bleachers. While we waited for the teachers to arrive, me and my friend were sitting next to these guys, but suddenly I see this bottle passed around between these guys. Eventually the bottle is passed to my friend and the bottle is just a basic plastic bottle like a water bottle, and my friend drinks it and it turns out to be vodka. I was offered but I declined. This happened during my freshman year of high school, and after this I realized how drugs have been normalized in the youth. I've met a ton of people younger than me and that has consumed massive amounts of drugs, and what pisses me off the most is that the people around them treat it like if it's a good thing. No, yeah, take a hit of this vape, you'll be fine. You see, this vape doesn't have the same effect. It will be like if you never smoked at all. What do you think happens next? The person takes a hit and is validated. He is validated and he feels good and he wants more, so he buys more. He spends the money that his parents worked so hard to get, and so he buys and buys until there's nothing left. No money. All of this just because he started young. You know, there's a reason why we're limited as teenagers. I feel like the reason why people consume drugs and indulge themselves in this type of behavior is because they started young. But what's the reason of all this? Why do kids do this? I believe it's influence. Me, when I was growing up, I always saw these signs and teachers telling me to never do drugs. I saw adults do it. So I believe that instead of directly telling kids to not do drugs, I believe that we should be showing them the right example. I believe we should step up and show the next generation what true fulfillment looks like, because actions speak louder than words. That got a little deep. Anyway, video games. Now in the future, I will make a video specifically about video games because there's so many people defending it. I can already hear you in the comments typing that I mostly grew my channel because of video games. If you do this, you're proving my point. It's weird to see grown-up adults still play video games. Every time I see one, I always think if they got anything else in their life, because I can never sit down for 1 to 4 hours of playing video games as an adult. Imagine spending 8 hours of your day working at a job that you don't even like and coming back home to play video games. Instead of focusing on how to make money and get a job that you actually like, you play video games. It's weird because I see a lot of people in my university do this. There is an esports gaming club and there is also a lounge with a Nintendo Switch in it. And I get it, video games are fun, but you're an adult now. What's crazy about this is the fact that video games are really easy to quit. The same rule with goals applies to playing video games, because what makes goals so satisfying is setting goals and achieving those goals. The difference in video games is that it simulates what what you want to be. You wish that Hunger Games were real? Well, play Fortnite. You want to create anything that is on your mind? Play Minecraft. You want to shoot cops? Play GTA. But video games, for the most part, simulate what it's like to have the good life. Or even better, it simulates what it's like to have freedom. Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you want to have any car that you want and go wherever you choose? That by itself should be enough motivation for you to quit video games. But in order to quit video games and bad habits, you first have to be able to find your goal and your purpose. But how do we do that? Think back to your childhood, your teenage years. Think of everything that you have done to this point. Look back in your life and think of at least one thing that you were good at. It doesn't even have to be something that you're good at. It has to be something that you like. But it has to be one thing. And you can't say there's nothing. If you say that, that just means that you're not putting enough effort. But once you have found this one thing, focus everything towards that one thing. And that will be your goal. You will start setting little goals that will help you in achieving your one big goal. Think about Mr. Beast. While he was creating his YouTube empire, do you think he started creating side businesses while also making YouTube videos? No. He completely focused his mind and energy on making successful YouTube channel. And once he was successful, that's when he started creating his side businesses. He got up and chose to be successful. And I hope you do the same before it's too late. So thank you everybody so much for watching this video. If you need a high quality video edited for you, I will personally edit a video for you. You can hire me on Upwork. Link in the description below. So thank you everybody, and always remember to live your life like there's no tomorrow.